Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers review. In today's video I'm taking a look at the leader class power of the Primes, Evolution Optimus Prime. Been very excited for this Prime. Seen a lot of people stateside getting a hold of one now. They're hitting retail over there. Managed to get mine from Robot Kingdom. Taking a look at the back of the box, we've got Prime in both his kind of Power Master form and as Orion Pax. And we can actually replace the center piece of his matrix of leadership with his various different Prime options, which also means we can put a headmaster head inside his matrix. Here we have him out of his plastic prison. He comes with an instruction manual. He comes with the matrix of leadership. I actually like what they've done, incorporating the power of the Prime's function into his matrix, meaning he can actually pass that matrix of leadership on. We've got a double-handled rifle for him, very similar to the kind of the original Optimus Prime gun. And we do get his power of the Prime's card, the Optimus Onyx. Casts his spark across the beyond to guide allies. There we go, out of the packet. He's not the heaviest of figures. He is pretty much a big shell. And let's address the elephant in the room. Those are big old legs and hands just hanging there on the back. Yes, I know it's not perfect. Not perfect by any means, but man, he looks so good from the front. Got a really nice head sculpt on there, probably one of the best head sculpts I've seen for a leader figure in a long time. Lot of character there. We've got some nice circuitry detailing on the inside of that chest. My stickers are actually peeling on the corners, but we do have an Autobot insignia on both sides. We have some circuitry stickers on the forearms. Love that torso section there. We've got the very bright, vibrant yellow, although the painting is a little bit on the lackluster side. Looking at the legs, they are again somewhat hollowed out, and the feet, the ankle definitely needs a bit of tightening. It's nice to have a great range on there, but it is a fraction too loose for my liking. All in all, I mean, it is a very good looking Prime, but he is basically a shell for Orion Pax to sit in. He is kind of packed full of articulation though, and there's enough motion there to have both hands on his gun. That's a good look for him. You can hold the gun in just the one hand, and if you hold it just kind of face down, then it looks okay, but as soon as you see the second handle, that's when it looks a little bit off. Your head can look left and right. We can go down, it can just pull forward slightly. Downward motion's a lot better than the upwards motion. The arms slot in over on these shoulders, but they don't tab in. The arms can go up on a friction joint. They come out to the side. Again, that's a nice motion coming out to the side. There's an upper bicep rotation. There is a bend on the elbow just beyond 90 degrees. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the fists are a fixed unit. There's no rotation at all on those hands. Even the waist is one fixed piece. That's one of the biggest disappointments. The hands I could have worked with, but the waist being one single unit is disappointing. The legs are on soft ratchets. We can come forwards and backwards out to the side on the friction. Upper thigh rotation there. And just over a 90-degree bend on those knees. And as previously mentioned, the feet can go forwards and backwards. They can also rock forwards and backwards. And we do get some pivoting from side to side. So as I previously mentioned, he does hold a stance remarkably well, but there are quite a few limitations on this guy. Now, comparing himself to some of the other offerings from Hasbro and Takara. Size-wise, he is actually one of the smaller leader class primes, but that being said, with these chunky shoulders and the way the arms come down inside those hangers, he actually ticks the Power Master Prime boxes for me a lot more than their official Power Master figure. And yes, I do have the Perfect Effects upgrade kits, and I do have the Printformers Marvel UK head on there, but you get the idea with this scale. This guy really does scream kind of the Season 3, Season 4 version of Optimus Prime. The way those white panels hang down over the back of his arms, aesthetically he is incredibly pleasing to the eye. Now, to place the Matrix inside his chamber, you have to open not one but two sets of doors, and then we can grab our Matrix. And I'm assuming that this gap inside is designed for a child to put the Matrix in, because that is an extremely small cavity. There we go, that's just pushed in. There we go, there is the Matrix mounted just on the inside. Now we can close off those doors. There we go, and then close off these secondary doors as well. Here we go. He has the touch. He has the power. Yeah. Now we can split this weapon so he can have two guns. I personally don't think either gun is long enough to be displayed in this mode, but it's each to their own. And here we have him alongside my kind of custom 3 Dinobot combiner. I say 3, there's actually 4 there. One forms the crotch, but yeah, you get the idea. He's a good size figure, and in my opinion looks exceptionally good alongside the X2 Toys version of Skyfire. For those of you that own an MP Megatron and want a Prime to be squaring off against him but don't want to use MP10, there is a slight size difference, but personally I think that's actually an acceptable size. Right now, as I previously mentioned, this is basically a shell with Orion Pax on the inside. Still very impressed by the levels of detailing, especially on the Prime head. The Prime head is actually better done in my opinion and looks more animation accurate than what we get with the MP10. So I wonder if we're going to be getting a version 3 Optimus Prime. Who knows? Right, the center torso piece that comes out. You want to just pull this down from the back, pull on this lever, and that now frees up Orion Pax. We can bring his legs down, rotate them around, and bring out his feet. The arms can come down either side. The head can open up. Prime head can go away into the torso. Bring that back up. Bring that down. And there we have an exceptionally well done Orion Pax sculpt. Hold out those fists and bring those down, and that is Orion Pax. Now this, in my opinion, is by far the very best interpretation of Orion Pax that we've had to date. He does look a lot better holding these guns separately than what Prime did. The backpack is exactly that, it is quite a substantial backpack. You can lift these down, but they don't quite sit together as much as I would like, but it does kind of slim down that backpack slightly. Personally, I do prefer it hoiked up, but that's a really good sculpt. The head, up, down, left and right. We can tilt to the side a little bit as well. Shoulder can come up, we can go forwards and backwards, although that ball is exceptionally loose. Nice upper bicep rotation, double jointed bend on those elbows. And again, unfortunately, those are fixed fists. They can go up and down, but that is it. The waist, again, is one fixed unit, but the legs can go forwards and backwards. The hip skirts actually move with the legs. They can come out to the side, upper thigh rotation, 90-degree bend on the knee, and little bit of articulation on those toes. But as far as a deluxe size figure goes, I mean, he's almost a Voyager scale figure. He's remarkably well done. I mean, here he is alongside Grimlock. He's not quite as big as Grimlock, and that's actually not a bad scale. If Prime was this scale and Grimlock was this scale, and then that would be acceptable. I mean, Grimlock's the one who's more likely to be oversized by those knockoff companies. He's going to be made to like a leader class scale, or maybe even a supreme class, and then we can have Megatron come in shooting Orion Pax, and then Alpha Trion can come in and fix Pax into Prime. Now let's get Pax transformed up into his vehicle mode. The first port of action is to remove his weapons, and you want to flip those fists back inside his forearms, fold down the toes and rotate the legs so the wheels are on the outside and they are just going to slot and tab in together. Bend his arms upwards. You want to push the waist up, undo the Pax head, and this is going to come down, and there's these notches on the underside of the chest. They line up with those tabs on the wheel section. Just tab those in, make sure the head is fully downwards. Bring the fists around to this side, and then this whole tab is going to come around to the back. So again, with this side, bring the fist round, swivel this entire tab around to the back. We can bring these Prime panels out, around, and they're going to be on a double hinge that hinges down. This is going to come down and tab into the side of that leg, forming the side of the truck. And that is the Prime truck. Yes, I know it's not the tidiest of trucks that we've had to form Prime, but at the same time it's very clever how everything unfolds to form both a torso for the Power Master Prime and Orion Pax as a figure, and then into truck mode. I'm actually very impressed. Now, as for the trailer section, we can bring the smokestacks down, extend this part of the arm, and lift both those arms up to the top. Bring this inside tab all the way down, fully extend this piece, and bring this tab out. This is going to unfold to form the entire outer section of the cab. Collapse that foot piece and tab that in. Bring those knee joints in together, tabbing those in, and these are just going to fold over at the top, and again this is going to fold over, and they're going to tab together using those joints like this. Bend the legs up and then the torso back down. Using that shoulder pivot hinge, bring this shoulder all the way down, and as we bring this up into this gap, this piece here just untabs, and that's now going to fill this void. The fist is going to come in. We can then straighten this piece off, and as we bring these arms over, there's a space just in between the two shoulder pads to tab in his gun. Make sure everything is slotted into place. These just tab in to the back. We can then bring these pieces over and push and tab those in. Now the only downside to mine is the design fault. I have two of these, two left ones as opposed to a left and a right, so I can't close up this section here. This side won't shut because we have this extra lip piece over the top. Basically this is meant to be flipped. The smaller side is meant to be on the top because that would fit, but yeah, so mine is misassembled, which is a darn shame. We can bring this piece down. That's now going to come in, and that'll link up nicely to the back of Orion Pax's head. And here we have him in his vehicle mode, just to give you an idea of his scale. He does scale remarkably well with the Perfect Effects version. They're a very similar size. Of course, the original Hasbro version was just a chest piece. It didn't actually have a figure incorporated in it at all, and although the back is a little bit untidy on this, the front definitely screams G1 Prime more. And here we have the MP10 mold, so substantially smaller in his vehicle mode, but in my personal opinion, even with this faux pas on the side, transformation was a lot more fluid. It was more enjoyable than what we get with the God Ginrai figure from the Titan's Returns line. It's a very nice truck mode, and it almost rolls as well. Definitely hits a lot of nostalgic vibes with me. What do you guys think? So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, Power of the Primes Leader Class Optimus Prime. A very fun figure indeed. Definitely a late entry into my best figures of 2017. He'll be up there in the Hasbro top 10 without a doubt. This is a very fun figure, and it's a very refreshing take on the Optimus Prime mold. Probably seen it everywhere else before, but you can switch out the matrix of leadership and replace it with your favorite headmasters as well, so they can now become the voice of reason, or you can put your Power of the Prime into your combiner and give them all of the power. It's very versatile. It's a very fun gimmick. I like that they did that, and let's have there we go. Look, that's just freaky. Yes, it's a fun gimmick, and I'm glad they did what they did, and I'm glad they made it work with those headmasters, because it just adds that little bit of extra fun to an already very exciting figure. Thanks again to Robot Kingdom for making this review possible. If you found it useful, give it a big thumbs up, share, and of course subscribe. And until next time, from myself and Prime, thanks for watching. Goodbye.